So it's just kind of sometimes it's not like both the player guarding you, it's both the system guarding you, and it's very different looks for different teams.
Zach, Purdue's obviously going to probably need more from you this year. What more can you give, you feel like?
I feel like I can play more minutes. I feel always like I've been in pretty good shape, but ultimately it's Coach Painter's decision, so I respect whatever he does. But yeah, just being able to be in the game more.
Do you have a target number for minutes, or is it more a matter of making every minute as good as you can? Kind of like?
Yeah, just play every minute as good as I can, see where it goes from there. Not like specific, I want to play 25 minutes a game, I'll play until Coach Painter tells me out, really.
Is there anything you worked on this summer from a conditioning perspective to kind of prepare for that?
Yeah, for sure. We kind of really locked in on conditioning this year, just as a team in general. We got a new strength coach, and that was one of his big things, so we would do conditioning a lot, and something that's really helped me.
Just playing the way you play, though, how hard is it when you're taking that kind of physical pounding to play that much, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely tough. You know, you can run up and down a field like a basketball court and touch lines all you want, but at the end of the day, that's only half of the conditioning. The other half is playing strong post defense, you know, doing laterally on ball screens, posting up deep. That's like there's a lot of different things besides just running up and down the court that will make you test your conditioning.
Zach, sometimes players will talk about sort of envisioning how their game may eventually translate to the NBA one day if they want to play there. What is that like for you, knowing that there's not a lot of guys in the NBA that look and play the way that you do?
Yeah, I'm just focused on kind of being the best player I can be. I believe great players make it to the NBA. If you're good enough, the NBA will find a role for you. So that's kind of just my goal, not really just focus on being the best player I can be.
Coach Painter talked about how a lot of people will look at you and just say, okay, put him in a ball screen because he probably can't defend it that well just because of your size, but he said you actually move a lot better than people think. Do you take pride in maybe being more athletic than somebody would guess based on just the way you look?
Yeah, I think it's definitely something that people might underestimate a little about me. It's just my athleticism. People, they look at me and they see, oh, he's a big, tall guy. He probably can't move. He probably can't jump. But I believe I'm ahead of a lot of my peers in that aspect.
What is playing in this league with so many other big men for your development?
It's great. You know, I got to play against a great big man every day in practice with Travion Williams. So it's just kind of have that competition every day. You get pushed every day, and you have great tests throughout the season. And it was like trade practice, and it was like Hunter Dickinson, do like Kobe, and just a lot of different teams that have great post players.
What was that locker room like after the NCAA tournament loss? It's a really good team, had a chance to make the Final Four, came up a little short. What's that like? How much has it motivated this team?
It was silent. You know, after a loss, you don't really say anything. You kind of just, it's a terrible feeling. No one likes losing, especially with kind of what we felt like we had on the line. We felt like what type of team we had, but the day we lost the game, so it was definitely not a fun locker room game.
How much has it pushed you this offseason or this team?
Yeah, it's definitely a motivator. I mean, you have to build off all your losses. You know, St. Peter's was a big loss, but you know, throughout the year when you lose games, you tend to like double down and work even harder, even though just because you have that extra kind of like fuel.
Whether it's scoring, leadership, obviously you're going to be asked to see that this year. But I guess how did you sort of taking that extra responsibility?
Yeah, just kind of developing this new team. We have a lot of freshmen who are like B guys in high school, so kind of having them learn how to. They might not have had to feed the post in high school. A lot of guys were like, if they play on the perimeter, they would take the ball ISO one-on-one dribble. We've had to kind of like almost show them how to. Like it seems simple, but just like throw the ball inside, look inside all the time. I've tried to like mentor them how to throw it and when to throw it, stuff like that.
Some of Purdue's best offense over the years has come off people double teaming the post, getting the ball out, getting moving around. You took a step as a passer last year. What do you feel like you can do this year to best kind of weaponize that attention you're going to draw?
Yeah, just kind of just making the right play all the time. You know, sometimes when you maybe feel like when it's a weak double team, you can break it. But if it's double team comes good and it's quick, just getting the ball at your hands. You know, the worst thing you can do when someone doubles you is kind of hold the ball, turn it over. You know, maybe travel, something like that. So getting the ball at your hands quickly and making quick decisions, is something I've really been working on.
Do you want people to double you?
Yes.
Zach, how have you been preparing to log more minutes, play a bigger role in this team?
Yeah, we did a lot of conditioning. We had a new strength coach during this off season, so that's something he really focused on. just kind of you're running, but only running's only half it. You have to really play basketball in order to get in basketball shape. I always believe. You can have like a marathon runner, and I think they'll still probably get tired within 5 minutes of playing basketball because it's just a different type of conditioning and stamina.
What do you expect to be better at this year? Is there anything you feel like you're really going to be different with this year?
Yeah, there's just I've just been working on like everything. Just being confident in the post, making shots, kind of playing when teams like sometimes they'll just like in practice even they'll just sit in the paint, they'll double team so I can't really get the ball. So just different kind of scenarios of playing through when I'm like the focus of a lot of teams' defense.
Mm-hmm. From a defense,
about you playing baseball and hockey.
Mm-hmm.
How did those sports help you in your mobility that we see at that size?
Yeah, definitely. I think those two sports helped me a lot in just random kind of ways. Like hockey, it can help me get like those big hockey player legs, like the strong base, where it's like kind of hard to knock me over. I like how it made me love physicality. Like I'm cool with getting hit. I'm cool with giving hits. And then in baseball, I've always said I think baseball really helped with my like touch, especially on my right hand. Because when you're pitching, I was a pitcher, you really have to like focus on the ball coming off your index and your middle finger, and you have to have a good control with those two. So something also in basketball, when you shoot a hook shot or a free throw, the last two fingers to touch the ball is the index and middle. So I believe that's something that really helped me from day one.
You're in Minnesota, a place that loves hockey. You got an NHL team you follow?
For sure. I'm from Toronto, so I got to, but they've had a rough few years. But I think next year is gonna be our bounce back.
And then last question, there's this famous picture with you and Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
I think Chet Holmgren. I was with Victor in Vegas last week, and he says he's 7'3". It looks like he's taller than you. How tall is he? As someone who's 7'4"?
I actually wanted to talk about that photo. I saw that photo too many times this offseason. I think that he's probably the tallest guy I've ever seen, but people were acting like he was like towering over me, and I saw some people saying like I was probably like, oh, I'm 7'1". If Victor's 7'3", Zach's like 7'1". No, I'm 7'4". But it was various things. He had those big basketball shoes on. I had like the little like just regular shoes. He had the big hair, and I was also we had just watched them play the USA versus France in the gold medal game, and that was a game I really wanted to play in. So I was kind of standing on that podium just up there depressed. So I was slouched over a little bit.
So are you as tall as him, is what you're saying?
I couldn't give you a good judgment on that. He was like 16 at the time or something weird. So he's probably grown since then, but I'd say at the time I was just about as tall as him.
Who was your favorite hockey player growing up?
Favorite hockey player would be, I really like Phil Kessel. He was the guy in Toronto for a long time. Mm-hmm. People might not know him. He don't have like a big name, but I liked him a lot.
Okay.
Zach, are you glad Kofi's gone? What do you remember about your battles with him?
Yeah, he's a great player. It's every year he's going to be strong. He's going to be physical. He's going to really like battle you in the post. It's hard to, when you play and you get to fight for every single inch of space in the paint. I feel like we had very like similar games. We went about it differently, but in the end, our games were pretty similar. So it was always fun to play him.
How will Illinois be a lot different without him?
That's something you'd probably have to have down. You have to ask Illinois, but I'd say they're probably a little smaller.
When you face bigs that aren't similar to you, that want to pull you away from the basket, what's that challenge like for you, and then how you try to make that go to your advantage?
Yeah, something that's actually really helped me this offseason. I've been playing against Caleb First every day in practice, and he's someone that does that. He pulls you out to the perimeter. He'll pick and pop. He'll take you off the dribble. So kind of playing against him in practice every day has really helped me take strides in that part of my game, on defense.
That kind of preempted my next question. How hard are Caleb and Trey when they're at the 5 to guard when, they're smaller and quicker and whatever else than more traditional size big guys?
Yeah, they're good. I mean, like you said, they're stronger, they're smaller and quicker, but they're also really strong. It's not that they lose any in that aspect. I think they're great players. They're both in Mr. Basketball and run-up Mr. Basketball in Indiana. Right. Trey Coffin's great. He's a great post scorer. Caleb can kind of score all over the floor. So they're both just great players.